Hi soulmate, welcome to another class. So in today's class we are making this beautiful ball gown and I'm going to use 10 yards of net. I'm using 10 yards of net because the net is by 60. So I'm going to get 10 yards in two layers from this net if I divide it into two. So if your child is bigger you can use 15 yards, but this one is 10 yards and I'm getting two layers from it. That's 23 inches, 23 inches. So now I'm going to divide the shoulder divided by 2. So I'm just getting it. That's what I'm marking now. So I'll now come down by half an inch for the slope. Then from the midpoint, I'll go in by 2.5 so that I can get my shoulder slope. So from that 2.5, connect it to that half inch I came down by. So I'm just going to connect it. So after doing it like that, I'm going to run a straight line. So that part, I'm just going to extend that line down. That's a shoulder line down. So when I extend it now, I'm now going to measure the bust of the child divided by 6 plus 1 inches. Anything I get, I'll mark it. Please note where I kept my tape rope. So it's bust divided by 6 plus 1 inch because I'm less and she doesn't have breast. If it's somebody that is, if it's an adult now, you can make it 1.5 or 2, but it's 1 inches because she's a child. So I'm just going to impute bust divide or chest divided by 4, and I'm going to add my sewing allowance. I'm adding 1 inch because I don't want the gown to be very bulky. On the waist part, so I'm going to do waist divided by 4, add 1 inch, then I'm just going to mark it. So my sewing allowance is 1 inch. By the time I turn it to line, I'll be left with half inch, which I'm very okay with. I don't want it to be bulky. So now see where I kept my tape rope. I'm just going to measure the whole length of that armhole length. So anything I get, I'm going to divide it by 2. Do you understand? Please note where I kept my tape rope. I'm going to divide it by 2 and just mark that point. So after marking it now, I'm going to go in by 0.5 inch or 0.25. It depends on you because she's a child. They don't have breast, so they don't really need much room at that place. So you are just going to connect it to that point, then connect it to your bust divided by 2. That's where you connect it to. Can you see it? That is for a child. Just make sure it's not sharp. So after doing it now, the next thing for me to do is to impute my shoulder measurement. So I'm going to come down by, for the shoulder I'm coming down by 5 inch because there is a yoke. So from that 5 inch now, I'm going to connect it to that armhole curve. Can you just look at what I'm doing? I'm going to connect it. If you are making for a child of 5 inch, please don't exceed that 5 inch, the depth of the yoke. If you exceed it, her chest will be showing. So that 5 inch is very good for me. It's perfect for this child I'm doing. So now I'm now going to create the neck. I'm using 2.25 for the depth of the neck, and I'm maintaining that 2.5 inches for the width. So I'm just going to connect it now. So we formed our neck measurements. Do you understand? And so it's time for us to cut it. If you notice, I went ahead to reshape the neck, but just make sure that the yoke should not be deeper than 5 inch. So you label it the yoke and the front. Make sure you label it as the front. If not, you get confused. Now for the back, I first of all measured an extra 3 inches. So all my measurements will start from that 3 inches I measured. So I'm going to measure the half length of the gown. I'll just measure it the way we did for the front, half length of the gown. Then we're going to mark it. So that place will now start as our borderline. Do you understand? So you are going to impute your shoulder divided by 2 once more. Shoulder divided by 2. Then extend that shoulder divided by 2 line a bit too. Just extend it small so that when you roll it, it will be easy to roll. Then you just take your ruler and connect it. If at this point you do not subscribe to my channel, kindly do that. So now that you are done, you've gotten your shoulder line. Do you understand? So you are going to go down by half an inch again for the back, go in by 2.5 inches. Do you understand? To get your shoulder slope and connect it. So essentially the front and the back for this is the same. Do you understand? So you are just going to connect it. So you are now going to impute your bust divided by 6 plus 1 inches. Do you understand? So I'm just going to impute it now. Bust divided by 6 plus 1 inches. Extend the line out a bit so that you'll be able to get your bust line. So now you are now going to impute bust divided by 4. So you are going to impute it just the way you did for the front. Bust divided by 4, you mark it. I bust it 23 divided by 4. Then I'm going to add extra 1 for sewing allowance. Waist divided by 4. So you're just going to impute it. And something you should note about children of this age, their bust and their waist are usually the same. And if they are not the same, the difference is always by 0.5. That's why you don't really need that for kiddies dress. So I'm just going to connect the sides. So now I'm going to create the yoke for the back. And I'll come down by 4 inches. So the back yoke, the depth is 4 inches. I'm just going to connect it to that 2.5 points. Do you understand? So that will be the back opening. That will be the neckline for the back. So it will create a V at the back. Do you understand? So that's how it's going to be. So now let's take in the zipper bulge. Let's take out the zipper bulge. On the waist, go in by 1 inch. Then connect it to the edge of where that neckline is starting from. So on the waistline, go in by 1 inch and connect it to where that neckline is starting from. So after doing it like that, now you will now replace your that you took in 1 inch, so you replace it at the side. So I'm going to replace by that 1 inch. Then for the bust line, it is 0.5 I took out, so I'm just replacing it. So whatever you take out when you are eliminating the zipper bulge, make sure you replace it at the sides because our allowance is not much. So now this sloping line is what I'm going to use to now measure the zipper line. So I'm using 1.5 for the zipper. You understand why I'm using 1.5 when we start sewing it. So I will advise you for this style, use 1.5 for your zipper allowance. For the way I'm sewing this one, use 1.5. So I'm using 1.5. So I'm just going to connect it. So when you are done, you will notice that our zipper line is slanted because our spine is not straight. So now that we've gotten everything, you will now connect you will now close up your yoke. Do you understand what I'm saying? So from that edge of that V, roll it to the armhole line so that you can form your yoke. So you now determine how, just roll it a straight line. So we have our yoke now. So you see the neckline for the back is V, while the front is round. So you can just use your free hand to just connect the armhole curve. You don't need to go in by 0.5 inch because it's the back, and if you go in like that it will gape. So you just roll it normally and you just label its yoke and down. So it's time for us to cut it out. So I'm just going to cut it. Please note the way I'm cutting this yoke. Just cut it gently. When I'm done now, it's time for me to now separate my yoke. Do you understand? So I'm just going to split my yoke into 2. I'm doing it for the front and the back, but just make sure you will know the difference because the front is round and the back is a V-neck yoke. So I'm just going to separate it now. So it's now time for us to cut it on the velvet fabric. So I'm using a velvet fabric. If you work with velvet fabric, you'll notice that it's stretchy. So when you want to fold it, make sure that if it's the stretchy part will be sideways and the part that is not stretchy will be down. Do you understand? So as you are cutting it, make sure you add ½ inch on the up and the down parts, both for the front and the back. ½ inch for the front upper part and the down part. That is for sewing. Good. Now you are now going to bring the yoke now and fold your net into 2. I'm cutting the front first. Can you see the way I folded it? So I'm cutting 2 layers of this particular net for the front. So I'll use one to turn the other. So at the down part too, I'm adding ½ inch on the yoke side. Then I'm also going to add ½ inch on the shoulder part. Do you understand? So after doing that, I'm just going to cut everything out. Please use pins because this true net is always very shifty. So I'm just going to cut it out. So I'll cut this exact same thing. I'll cut it another place. That it will be 2 for the front yoke. So I'm just refolding the net again. I'll place the one that I've cut earlier, place it on top of it and recut it. And if you like, you can just fold it into 2 and cut it once. But me, I was trying to explain better, so I wanted to show you again, and I will now cut it out again. Make sure, please don't forget, make sure you add ½ inch to the down part and the upper part of your yoke. Same with the main fabric. If not, when you are done, if you don't add it, your length, the half length of your gown will be shorter. So I'm just adding it ½ inch on the shoulder and I'm going to cut it out. So I'm done with the yoke for the front now. It's 2 layers. So for the back, I'm cutting it is, I folded the net, it's 4 layers of net like that. So I'm going to add half inch at the down part, at the shoulder part, then at the sides, that v-neck side, I'm going to add half inch. Please note the difference. And it is unfold, it's 4 unfold. So I'm just cutting it. Please use pin so that it will be easier for you. So now let's cut bridle for the down part of this gown. You know, the net will be on top and this bridle will be down. So I'm cutting 2. I'll cut 1, but there's another layer, so you're going to cut 2 layers of this bridle. So how will you get it? The waist of the girl is 23 inches, it's 24 inches. I added extra 6 inches, so it's 30. So I'll now say 30 divided by 6.28. Anything it gets me, I think I got 4 point something. I'm now going to add the length of the gown. Do you understand? So that means that the 30 divided by 6.28, I got 4.7 also. So anything now, so the width of your flare will be 4.7. I did it such a way that I'll be able to pleat it. It will be excess, so it will be bigger than our waist, so I'll be able to pleat it to just give it volume. So I'm measuring it now. I got 9 times 3 is 36, and our waist is 24, so it's excess, so it's better. So from that curve now, I'm now going to measure the length of the flare, and I'm using 23. The length of our flare is 23, but I'll add extra half inch to join it together. So I will now have 24. So I'm just marking it. Do you understand? So that's how you are going to do it. So when you want to do it, how to cut your flare, usually your waist circumference divided by 6.28. That is what will give you how you will cut it. So I'm just marking it like that so that I will get flare. So after cutting this one, I'm going to cut another layer, same bridal satin. So I'm not using hard net, so that one will not act as the lining. This will come directly under the net, then the other one will not act as the lining. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope I'm not rambling. So now that I'm done, I'm just going to use my chalk to mark it, then I'm going to cut it out. I'll cut 2 of this. So I'm going to open one part. I'm going to open it. So after opening it now, I'll notch the other part so that when I'm sewing it will guide me. I'm just going to notch it gently. I'll notch the midpoint too. Good. And we are good to go. So it's now time for us to cut lining for our velvet. So I'm just going to cut lining. I'm not adding any allowance to lining. I'm cutting it exactly as the fabric is. So that's what I'm going to cut. So I'll do the same for the front and for the back. So after I've cut the lining for the upper part, so it's time for me to cut. There's one belt design on this gown, so that's what I'm cutting now. So how will you get it? Is the circumference of your waist plus your zipper allowance. So by the time I finish turning this gown, I'll be left with extra 2 inches for zipper allowance plus 24 inches, so everything is 26. So on fold is 13 inches, and I folded is on fold, please, it's 13 inches, and it will be long. It will be long by 26 and it will be wide by 4 inches. So when I fold it, it will be by 4 inches and the length will be 26 inches. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So that's what we are going to use to do that belt design. And our gown is already taking shape. So next class, we are going to do the stitching of this gown together. So kindly give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.